slope really isn't too bad of a concept. It's a little complex, a little bit involved, but it's really not too bad. The idea of slope is simply that it's a number that describes the steepness of a line. So all slope is something that describes the steepness of a line. Right? And if your slope is greater than 1, your line's going to be pretty steep. And if your slope is less than 1, it's going to be kind of flattened. Now to calculate slope, it's quite easy. All it is the change in rise. Rise being vertical, which is just your y coordinates, divided by your change in run. You run side to side just like your x coordinates go. Most people memorize slope as rise over run, which is fine, so long as you understand that it's really the change in rise divided by the change in run. And to calculate the change in something, I actually need 2 points. I can't do it with just one. I can't look at a picture of you right now and say, how have you changed from last year? I have to have something to compare it to. So in the case of slope, we have to have 2 points. Doesn't matter what we're working with. We have to have 2 points. Alright? So, let's talk about how do I calculate slope between 2 points. Let's say I've got the points 1, 1 and 7, 10, and I say, find the slope between these 2 points. It's actually not too bad. To find the change between two numbers, all I have to do is subtract. Right? Change is subtraction. Now, I know I'm going to have a fraction. So I always just put my fraction bar there to start with, because I know it's going to be there. So I put it there to kind of keep me organized, to figure out what I need to find. Looking at the numerator. Again, numerator is change in rise, which is your y coordinates. Okay, in this case our y coordinates are 1 and 10. And we can subtract them either way we want to. I kind of don't really like negatives, so I'm going to go with 10 minus 1. Because I know that's going to come out to be a nice pretty number. Now the key point is this. The x coordinates, the 7 and the other one, I have to subtract them in the exact same order as I subtracted the y's. Since I started with this 10 here, I have to start with the 7. 7 minus 1. I cannot flip-flop it. I can't do 10 minus 1 over 1 minus 7. It will not work. They have to go in the same order. Alright, I'm going to simplify this. 10 minus 1 is just 9. 7 minus 1 is 6. I can simplify this fraction a little bit. Divide each of those by 3, and I'm going to get 3 over 2, or 3 halves. So the slope between these 2 points is 3 halves. You can put it in decimal form if you want to. 1.5, that would be perfectly fine with me. But leave it in the fraction is also perfectly fine. Either way, it's going to work. Now, I prefer you don't leave it as 9 over 6, because that's really unsimplified, and we always want to simplify our fractions. Alright, let's try another pair. Let's say I've got the points 2, 3, and 1, 7. Now I say find the slope between these 2 points. Again, fraction bar. I know it's going to be there. And let's say, I don't know, we'll start with this side over here. The 7 and the 3, 7 minus 3. Since I started with the second point, I have to start with the second point again. 1 minus 2. I know it looks weird, because we went 7 minus 3, 1 minus 2. We did things in the right order, but we're definitely going to get a negative number. But you know what? That's okay. Slope can be negative. On the top we get 4, on the bottom we get negative 1. This simplifies to negative 4. That's fine. The way slope works, alright, just for a little bit of visual here, positive slopes are going to go this way. They're going to start at the bottom left and go over to the right. Negative slopes, on the other hand, are going to start at the top left and go down. So any of them that are kind of going this way are going to be negative. Any of them in the green way are positive. And it doesn't matter. A slope can be negative, it can be positive. We've looked at things like decreasing temperature over time is going to have a negative slope, whereas increasing temperature over time would have a positive slope. Alright, let's do a couple of these for you to practice. So I'm going to give you a couple. You're going to pause the tape and not cheat. Try them, and then when you come back, I'm going to work through them. Alright? First one I want you to practice with, 0.2 comma 4, the 0.8 comma 7. Second one, let's have some fun. Negative 1 comma 7, 3 comma negative 4. Throw in some negatives. We're going to have a little bit more fun with number 3. How about negative 1 and a half comma 1 half, and the point C 3 and a fourth comma 4. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try those. Now you did pause the video and try them on your own, right? Because if all you're doing is watching me doing it without practicing, it's really not going to help you that much. So I'm going to hope that you've gone ahead and tried these. Alright, looking at number 1, I'm going to end up with 7 minus 4 over 8 minus 2. I'm going to get 3/6, which simplifies to 1 half. Number 2, I'm going to get negative 4 minus 7 over 3 minus negative 1. Now yes, you could have done this in the other order. You could have gone 7 minus negative 4 and negative 1 minus 3, and you will get the exact same answer. On the top, let's see, we get negative 11 over 4, which is simply negative 11 fourths. Alright, and the last one, time for fun with fractions. Alright, on top, I'm going to get 4 minus a half, and on bottom I get 3 and a quarter minus negative 1 and a half. So now we have all the integer problems, the negative and positive, and the fraction. Alright, you are welcome to put this into your calculator. All those halves would be like 0.5 or 1.5. The 1/4 would be 0.25. You can do that. You can use the fraction button in your calculator, that ABC button. Or you can just do it as fractions on paper or in your head if you can. Alright, on top, we're left with 3 and a half. And on the bottom, we're left with, how about 4 3/4? Alright. Now, that's pretty ugly looking. We really need to simplify that up. Alright, and this is where we're going to work with some of those skills you may have forgotten. Hopefully going to bring it back. Yes, again, you could type this into your calculator, but that's so boring. Alright, I have 3 and a half divided by 4 3/4. When you have a division of fractions, first thing you want to do is put them into improper fractions. So this side over here becomes 7 halves divided by, let's see, 4 times 4, 16, 19 over 4. Alright. The second thing with the division of fractions, you keep the first thing, change to multiplication, and you flip your second fraction, and you multiply straight through, and we get 28 over, what is 2 times 19? Hoping you guys know this better than I do. How about 38? 28 over 38. I know we can definitely simplify this. Isn't this going to be, how about 14 over 19? Alright, and that's as simplified as you get. Yes, you could put that in decimal form, and you guys can always double check. 14/19 is about 0.74. So if you did this in your calculator originally, you should get about 0.74. Alright? Alright.